I was on the website futone.com and I saw this WD Music Tremelo stabiliser on there. And there's not a very good description of these. Sometimes you can find the manual online, but there wasn't any really good videos on how to use it. I was just reading the back and made in Australia, woohoo! But features guitar stays in tune when you break a string. Tremolo is fully operational up and down. I'll cover that in a sec. Stays in tune when dampening on the bridge, so like when you're palm muting. Play strings in half the time. That's debatable. Much easier to tune, that's true. Increases sustain, attack and response. I find it has given a bit of a better sustain, so less vibration in the bridge is always going to equal more sustain, especially on a floating system. Easily change to alternate tunings without affecting other strings. That's true. Can be fitted in approximately 15 minutes. That's true. No drilling or running required. Yep. So things that like the hip shot trem setter that always annoyed me is having to use their spring claws, use their systems, having to drill out a special hole for the trem setter to come through. So I ordered the heavy duty one. Now, what's the difference between the heavy duty and the light duty? Well, the heavy duty has two stabilizers. You can use two at once if you want, whereas the light one just has one. And because it only cost about $40, so you're only spending about $20 per stabilizer, so it is a really good bargain. So I've fitted it to both these tuners. And you can see that the unit goes inside the bridge spring, butts up against the claw, and butts up against the bridge. So this is an example of what happens when you depress on the bridge. Now, you saw in the literature it said, could go up and down at all times. The only reason that's possible is because of this special screw. So you can see how this screw doesn't have a thread on part of it. And so when you push the bridge up, you actually push the claw here back. I can't do it with my fingers. It's a lot of pressure. But that's how you retain the up and the down motion. Is quite a lot of force. So I just want to get that out there. But it does everything it says on the box. In terms of things like unison bends, I find it does take quite a lot of bending effort to get the bridge to lift up at all. So it is actually good for unison bends. So you're getting a lot of the benefits for not much money with this tremolo stabilizer. Next we come to the Goldo back box. So here it is here, fitted against the TRS Pro bridge. So it's adjustable here and here. Should you ever need it, it can go up and it can go down, and it's fully tunable. And stays in tune very well. In terms of ease of fitting, you do have to disassemble it a tiny bit to get it to fit in the guitar, and it does need a flat platform to sit on. So when I bought it for my RGX here, it's actually got this little shelf at the back of the trem route, and I was trying to do a little shim to make it fit in there. If I had done that, it probably would have fallen off in the first time I sort of pulled up on the tremolo, because there's a lot of force coming back on the back box. It's probably almost 30 kilos or however many pounds of tension is in the in the string when you're pulling up on it. So there's a lot of forces involved. In terms of things like unison bends, I find it's not the best for that. So if I do a bend on this, you can see a bit of that up movement, and it is a bit easier to move up. But in terms of everything else, back and forward bends, very easy, very fluid. In terms of price, it's about $50 or $60 delivered. You can find many knockoffs on eBay from AliExpress, but I did review the genuine Goldo back box, and so you got to put it into perspective. These things, $40 for two, retain 99% of the functionality. This one, much smoother, but you do lose that unison bendability, and it is slightly more expensive, so just keep that in mind. Last one is the Tremory, which is available from Taman and other good retailers online. Originally, you had to buy it only from Tremory. I think you still can buy it direct from the manufacturer. So you can see on this Goldo unit, I actually do have an oversized block, so it is slightly too long. This thing is the Rolls Royce, and it's much more expensive than the other two. So I think when I bought it, it was $180 delivered to Australia. So, man, that's expensive. That's like buying a new bridge. But you got to think about it. There's nothing wrong with this RM Pro 2 in terms of functioning as a bridge. Changing the bridge for another Floyd, you're probably not going to gain anything. But putting in a very good tremolo stabiliser is going to give you 99% of the benefits without having to, re-drill your post holes or fit a new bridge. So I think in terms of, just sustainability and getting the most out of the gear you have, and, sell your guitar, take it with you, you can just pop it in and out. So everything's fixed at attention via this little tightening screw here, which you can remove if you don't like it being there. So you can take that off, and then you can have it look completely flush. Or if you needed to at any time, you can just take it off halfway through the gig, or when you need to, when you need to adjust your entire action for some reason. Let's say you're putting on different strings or whatever. You just loosen this off, and it just behaves like any other string, which is fantastic. Unison bends are perfect. Tuning is perfect. I love this unit. You can see it's sitting little So that's my video on Tremelo, Yamaha tremolos and trem stabilizers. So my advice for people is, if you're having trouble with your trem, or if you want to get a bit more performance out of it, I wouldn't throw it away. I probably wouldn't change it out. And it's just really easy and quite cheap to stabilize it. And there's some great products on the market to do it. Thank you.